Most 5-star characters want their signature weapon, but they always aren't required, right? Of all the characters on my account, and I have quite a few, Phoebe and Chacona do not have their signatures, but that's because they take more of a supportive role. But for my damage dealers, they all have their signature weapons. Camellya was a case where I actually didn't grab the weapon, but he was given to me for free. Nonetheless, I can still clear the tower with Camellya with the Battle Pass weapon. It just requires a bit more effort. It's become apparent that the 4-star weapons in this game are just leagues worse than the 5 stars, but at least most of the 5-star premium damage dealers have secondary options that they can actually use, right? Well, Cartethyia breaks that cycle because she's the first HP scaling character, and of all the current weapons in the game, especially the swords, being she can only use a sword of course, do not work with HP scalers. Does that make Cartethyia signature weapon a weapon that gives over 80% HP a must pull? I'm VoidEnigma, and I'm here to break down the topic of Cartethyia needing her weapon. We'll talk about all of her weapon options and discuss her reliance on her signature. Let's draw this majestic blade from its sheath and stab it directly into the void of discussions. Cartethyia's weapon is absolutely insane. Like, insane. 72% HP plus another 12% because they needed to add a line to the passive, I guess. Then they just straight up say, hey, you always ignore 8% defense because to activate this, you simply need to do a basic attack. Psst. Every part of Cartethyia is basic attacks. And she gets a massive permanent 20% amplification to her overall damage as long as the enemy has at least one stack of arrow erosion. As if that wasn't loaded enough, no other weapon comes close. All the weapons that actually buff attack, worthless. Any weapon that has a flat attack bonus or just a high attack stat does nothing for Cartethyia. No. Oh, there's literally no 4-star options, huh? There is, however, one 3-star option, the Guardian Sword. It gives 30% HP, which is not that significant, but it's something, right? The passive is also kind of useless, so you really only use this as a last resort. So where do we turn to? The 5-star swords, of course. None of them are particularly good, but let's start with the standard 5-star sword, the Goated Emerald of Genesis. From this, you get 12.8% energy recharge and 24% crit rate from this weapon. The good thing here is, this is going to allow Cartethyia to actually run 2 crit damage 4-cost pieces, so you're getting a lot more crit value with this. Blazing Brilliance, on the other hand, gives a nice 48% crit damage, but the passive is seriously disheartening for Cartethyia. You get almost nothing from it, so not even worth mentioning. Red Spring up next, and at least it's useful. Wait, it's actually quite good. Great crit rate stats, gives 30% basic attack damage boost, which is actually good for Cartethyia, and it's a solid option. This is actually probably her second best option, thankfully, so all isn't lost, at least for those of you who have Camellya and Red Spring. So yeah, Red Spring is solid, but what about Unflickering Valor? It's surprisingly decent. You get a massive energy recharge substat that you don't all need, but it does give 8% crit rate and a total of 48% basic attack damage bonus. Sadly, that substat of 77% energy recharge is way too much, but it's better than a lot of the other options, I guess, right? Among all the 5-star though, I'd say that they're literally maybe 25 to 50% worse than her signature, and that is an insane difference. And because of that, I would highly recommend her signature. Brant and Zani were examples of having an insane signature that boosted damage to an insane value, but this is beyond insane. This is just a catastrophic difference. For a lot of free-to-play players, this is really disheartening, and you would have to have saved a lot of pulls to actually get this weapon, or your Cartethyia is just severely nerfed. I do wish they had more 4-star options available to at least give you a taste of power, but you really have to use a 5-star weapon on Cartethyia. That 3-star sword is not good, so I'd probably actually just end up using Emerald of Genesis, which is decent, but it's just decent. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the weapon disparity for Cartethyia. Leave a comment down below because I'm curious about your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying the video, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, Enigma out.